Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be doing a flip through of my Hobonichi cousin for the month of June and July. So first off, here you'll notice the thickness of the planner. It's expanding a lot and the band is still holding, but I'm not sure how it will make it to the end of the year, but I guess we'll see. So flipping open this really quick. For the month of June, there weren't many highlights. For July, there were a couple more. If you look over here, these are the events that was happening for the month of June and July. And then it spilled out a little bit more to this third card over here. So flipping over to the calendar index page where I do my habit trackers. For the month of June, there were a lot of good moods, and then I did a lot of reading. Well, actually I listened to the audiobook in the car a lot. I haven't been exercising again, just didn't have the time for it or the motivation and energy, because as soon as I reached home, all I wanted to do was just sit back and relax and not do anything physical. So that's been how it is. But at work, I have been walking up and down and around about a lot, so I think it makes up for it a little bit in terms of cardio, but I really do need to start exercising for real. For the month of July, it's more or less the same thing. Good moods most of all, and then did do a lot of reading. I think this was during the time I borrowed the book Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood, and I really needed to focus on reading it because the library wants it back and a lot of people want to read it, so I needed to hurry up, finish it, and return it to the library. Moving on to the monthly pages. For the month of June, I didn't really do a lot for my YouTube channel. I did concentrate on Instagram because that one was easier to do and doesn't take a lot of time, so I've been diligently uploading posts in Instagram. But for YouTube channel, because that one needs a lot of editing, filming, planning, I couldn't really do much. I did do a flip through for May, and I did do a daily routine vlog video that's up on my channel. But for the month of June, it's looking really thin or empty. For the month of July, it's more or less the same thing. I did a lot of the Instagram, but not a lot of the YouTube channel. The only thing I managed to do was the July setup video. Moving on to the weekly pages. The way I decorate the pages haven't changed. I still do the washi on top and at the bottom. I do a half box sticker for each day to fill in my Wordle puzzle and the result. I also do a to-do list for the week, a water intake. I did do note-taking for my Duolingo over here. I'm trying to learn Spanish, but it's proving to be a little bit more challenging than the other languages I've taken, because every day there seems to be new words to remember and I can't get it. I just can't seem to remember all of them. So yeah. The following week, I managed to put in the habit tracker that I forgot to do last week. So there was the habit tracker for the flossing, the to-do list is over here, washi tape on top and the bottom, Wordle puzzle, and then I did add this sticker to track my working hours, because I noticed that the number of hours that I work at work highly depends on the key holder that's working that day. So if he leaves early, I have to leave work early. But thankfully, because I've been taking the extra time to leave extra early from home, I managed to arrive early at work and then work the full 8 hours. So I'm satisfied with that. But so far this week, I managed to work all 8 hours each day. So started work 8:30 and left at 5 p.m. The following week, work schedule is more or less the same. I added another habit track over here for feeding animals, because now I have to feed the praying mantis, the hummingbirds, and the regular birds. So yeah, a lot of feeding going around. And then I still continued on with the note-taking. I also track my fuel, the ones that I do at Costco. I wanted to check to see how often I had to do this, since I'm working on site and I have to travel from home on a daily basis. So I just wanted to know how much fuel it consumes time I refuel. The following week, now it's more of a pinkish purple theme. I did track my work hours, my Wordle, my to-do list. Habit tracker is pretty much the same over here. I had a day off on that day. Following week again, this time I remembered about the water intake that I forgot to do, so I added that. Track my fuel, Wordle. I have been skipping some days, I noticed. Everything else is more or less the same. Here is more of the same kind of layout. This time I noticed that I've been arriving earlier and earlier in case I have to leave office early, so I decided to arrive at work extra early and work straight away. That way I can leave after the 8 hours mark. And I added this credit card tracker to make sure that I pay. Now the following week, same layout still, tracking pretty much the same stuff, but I haven't been doing any note taking because I noticed that I haven't been focusing on my daily routines because of work. I didn't do my Wordle and I didn't do my note taking for Duolingo. It's a little bit difficult these days because I just forget about it. I just want to rest and not do anything. So that's been a struggle. And as you can see this week, I totally forgot to decorate the week, and that's okay, but I did put down the sticker to track my fuel. And then here, as you can see, it's looking pretty bare. I did put this half box stickers hoping that I would record, but I did not. I only did for one day. And then that's the last week for July. More or less the same thing, and I did not touch this page as you can see over here. So it's kind of a waste. I used the stickers, but I did not work on it. So hopefully in the month of August, it'll be different. And then this one is my goals and monthly task page. For June, I was focusing on these reading goals, YouTube channel, Instagram, losing weight, increase my savings, and then my full-time job, I put a T over here to represent my temp status. And then there's no birthday party because that's over in May. And the same thing in July, I did more or less focusing the same thing. For the monthly task, I listed down a few things, but I did not accomplish all of them. And then for July, I only managed to order my daughter's clothes because school is opening soon and she needs new clothes. Moving on to the daily pages. For the month of June, I didn't finish filling up this space, and it's okay because most of the highlights is already mentioned in my calendar side over here and also my daily pages entry. So I didn't really do anything over here. And then my daughter had a full month of happenings. She had a lot of bruises, some infection going on, and it was a lot of medical worries over there. But thankfully, she is recovered by now, and it was all in the past. So now the first day of June, I continued on from the last daily page. I also did the same thing but on the other side. I did this side and then the other side is this one here. So this is the Harry Potter chocolate that we got from the KublaCon convention, and I thought it was kind of cool, so I decided to trace it over the page over here. For the second one over here, I did Queen Charlotte because I was watching Queen Charlotte again and I really liked it. Here I drew the character from Dune 2 because I started watching Dune 2 on Max. I really like the show, but it's kind of, I don't know, I want to say that the ending is a little bit disappointing, and I want to read the books to find out what really happened, but I don't have the time for it. All in all, I like the show, so I drew the character over here. And then here, I drew Classroom Assassination. That's one of the interesting, funny animes that I wanted to watch, but I only managed to watch 1 or 2 episodes. It's not really my kind of anime to watch. I usually go for like romance or thriller, not of the comedy types. And then here, I drew this meme, this popular meme of "This is fine," because at this time, the person that I'm replacing at work, she's going to be leaving soon, and I felt a little bit panicky, anxious, because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to do the stuff that she did in the past. So I was kind of like stressed out a little bit, so I drew this meme. And then here I drew another meme, trying to give myself a boost of motivation and confidence to believe in myself that I can actually do her job. So that's why I drew this meme. And then here I drew another meme of this cat giving a thumbs up and then saying I will be okay, because this was her last day and I would really be on my own the following week. Here I drew this One Punch Man character from this comedy anime. Again, it's not my kind of anime and I only watched 1 or 2 episodes of it, I think. But I drew this character because I wanted to portray this self-confidence, and he seemed like the kind of character that would be really self-confident in his ability. Here I drew a fruit fly because the praying mantis that we have, we are feeding it with fruit flies at this time, and I decided to draw it. I am not a bug person. I don't like touching insects, but because I was worried that my daughter wouldn't be able to feed a praying mantis and cause a lot of mess around, like letting a bunch of fruit flies running about on the balcony, I decided to help her out. I forced myself to handle the fruit flies, and over time, it doesn't seem that bad. As long as I'm not touching it with my bare hands, it's okay. So the trick is to constantly knock the container on the table to let them fall down. And then I have her open the mantis box while I open the lid from the fruit fly container, and then let them all jump into the cage. So after that, I have to knock the container down again to make sure they all fall down, and then quickly close the lid. So it was a little bit tricky handling the fruit flies container, and I wish the container was a little bit taller so it's more manageable, but I had to work with what we have. And then here I drew another anime character from Toradora because she was a confident person. Even though inside she had mixed emotions, she still portrayed a very positive image. So I was trying to mimic her as well because this is something related to work, and I was on my own starting this day. The next day, I drew this character from Dragon Ball. He is Master Roshi, and I drew this because for this day, it just so happens to be Kamehameha Day. And I know it means something else. It's a state holiday in Hawaii, but this character was famous for his Kamehameha move. So that's why I drew him on this day. And then this one, I drew Superman, and I didn't draw the face because there were many actors acting this role over the years. So I just didn't want to draw one person, and even if I focus on one actor, it wouldn't really look exactly like the actor anyway. So I decided to just focus on the body over here and the symbol. Today was Superman Day, so I drew Superman here. But this day I decided to draw Captain America because I was looking up on what holiday was for this day, and it says that it was Chris Evans' birthday. So I decided to draw Captain America. And then here for this day, I think it was because when I was looking up for the holiday for the day, it was saying something about monkeys, and I decided to draw Monkey King. It's from an old Chinese TV series called Journey to the West, and I'm born in the year of the monkeys, so why not, right? And I used a bunch of banana stickers to accompany the drawing. Here on this day, I didn't draw anything. Instead, I cut out a piece of the paper results from this laser tag place that we went on Saturday. My alias was Sailor Moon, and this was my score. We had played 3 rounds. The first round, I was just trying to feel my way around, get used to the gun, and also to see what would be needed in order to play better. And also, I was accompanying my daughter around, so that sort of pulled down my results. The second round, I encouraged her to go on her own, and I went on my own, and it ended up second in place. So that was fun. Third round, I was already tired, and because I was satisfied with second round, I didn't really focus much on the third round. Instead, I was just walking around at an easy pace. I think I was just satisfied with that. The next day here, I drew Naruto's father, Minato Namikaze. This is because it's Father's Day and I wanted to draw a father figure, so I decided to draw this character over here. Here, I decided to draw a bird. Well, it's a finch. It's supposed to look like a finch. I think I succeeded, but it looks kind of odd. In any case, I drew this bird just for the fun of it. The next day, I drew Satoru Goju from Jujutsu Kaisen. I finished watching season 1 and I really think his character is interesting. He by far, I think, has the most powerful ability besides the main character, of course, because he effortlessly dealt with the enemies by just opening his blindfold over here, and I think that's really amazing. The next day, I drew this Jelly Belly character from the Jelly Bean Factory, because on this day we had gone to visit the Jelly Belly factory. I actually took the day off to visit with my family and we had a really nice time. So I drew this character to represent that visit. Here I drew another character from Jujutsu Kaisen. It's the panda, because I thought it was really funny that he would say panda is not a panda. He looks really cute over here, but in actual fact in the anime he's more intimidating looking. The next day I drew Pikachu. I can't remember the reason why I drew this, but I think it's just because I wanted to draw something cute and funny. It's the only Pokemon character that I know. And then this day I drew another Jujutsu Kaisen character, and this one is Mahito. He is the evil character in Jujutsu Kaisen, and I am not sure whether it's a girl or a guy. Some people say that he can be both. Well, who knows, right? Because his ability enables him to change his looks, create many limbs, different body parts, even his eyes, color of his eyes are different. So I think his character is pretty amazing for an evil character. Here I decided to draw bougainvillea flowers because I couldn't think of anything to draw, so I decided to pick a flower from my balcony and it was the bougainvillea. For this day, I couldn't think of what to draw, so I asked my daughter what she wanted me to draw. She suggested this My Little Pony character, Rainbow Dash, and so this is what I drew. And I used a bunch of rainbow stickers to accompany the character. For this day, I decided to draw Fly Guy because this day there was this housefly issue that happened. Because of the weather, the temperature, I think there were like more than a dozen big fat houseflies flying around in my house. I don't know where or how, but for like 2-3 days there was just a bunch of flies coming in and we had to try and get rid of it. So I drew this character from Fly Guy. And then for this day I decided to draw this no face character because I think at that time I wanted to just sit down, relax and drink a hot cup of tea. So I was just googling up this anime character drinking tea and then this came up, so I decided to draw it. For this day I drew this Doniatsu character because at work somebody brought a box of donuts and I had a donut, so I decided to draw this character to represent what happened on that. Here I drew this wood sprite from Avatar because I couldn't think of anything to draw and I just thought of Avatar and then thought of drawing this wood sprite. And then for this one here, I drew the character from Highlander. What prompted this was because we have 4 praying mantises at this time and I knew that eventually as they grow bigger, they would start feeding on each other or attacking each other and eat each other up. So that kind of scenario made me think of Highlander because the famous line was, "There can only be one." So that's why I drew this character. And it's one of my favorite movies in the 80s as well. Next day here, I drew this couple from a Chinese drama called The Double. I really like this drama. Even though the chemistry is not as intense as I would like it to be, I still enjoyed watching this drama. So I drew this couple. So that was the month of June. For the month of July, this page here, I didn't really write much over here as I was focusing more on the daily pages and I didn't really flip back to the currently page over here. So hopefully for the month of August, that will change and it will look much fuller. Here, I drew this character from The Double again, the drama, and this time it's focusing on the female character. I don't know for sure whether it's the female protagonist or the other female character, but she was wearing red robes and she was dancing for the husband. Anyway, I like the poster from the TV drama, so I decided to draw it. And then here again, I'm still drawing characters from The Double. So this one is the male protagonist and this one here is the female protagonist. I really like the poster, so I decided to draw the characters like that. So this day here is 4th of July and on this day we went to watch Inside Out 2 at a nearby theater. It was my daughter's first time experiencing watching a movie at a theater. Normally we just watch stuff at home or we go outside to the park to watch a movie and it's just not the same. We had a lot of fun. We enjoyed the movie. Here I drew the 2 characters again from The Double and this is a scene where she was hugging him and I really like that scene very much, so I decided to draw that. Here I drew Sleepy. I managed to sleep in until 9 a.m. actually, but maybe because my body was not used to the length of time, I felt actually lethargic and it made me feel sleepy still. So that's why I drew this character. Here I drew the characters from the book cover Not in Love because I was trying to finish reading the book as I had to return it to the library really fast and people are waiting for it. So I drew this character. The story is interesting, but I think I prefer her earlier novels. Hopefully there will be more coming from her soon. For this day's daily entry, I drew Godzilla. There's a new Godzilla vs. Kong movie that's available on Max. Because I watched the movie, I decided to draw Godzilla. And then here, because I was still in the same mood, I drew King Kong and he's holding this sharp things over here. He turned it into an axe. So I decided to draw that. Here I drew Garfield because I wanted to draw something from my childhood, and this was one of my favorite comic strips to read in the newspaper every weekend. So I drew that, and then I drew another favorite comic that I read in the past during my childhood, and it's Asterix. It's really interesting and all their names are actually funny. And then another comic that I drew, which is Calvin and Hobbes, one of my favorites as well. I drew a scene of them just walking outside, and then I used a bunch of flower stickers to sort of represent the outdoors. Here I drew Sailor Mercury and she was swimming because on this day we went to the water park. So I decided to draw something that's related to swimming. Here I drew a scene from Maid Sama. It's the two characters from Maid Sama. He's enjoying some food from the food festival, and that's the reason why I drew this, because we went to a Japanese supermarket and they were having some sort of food festival there, and I decided to draw this scene to represent that. For this one, I drew the poster from the drama show My Demon. I started watching this Korean drama and I thought it was really interesting actually. It took me a while. I watched a few episodes at the beginning and then I stopped because I don't know, I guess it wasn't moving at a pace that I liked, that kept my interest, so I had put it on hold. But I returned back to it and I managed to continue watching it, and it's really interesting. I really like it. Here I drew the cover of this audiobook that I was listening to, and it's Accidentally Amy. I drew the characters from the cover, and I think I drew the head a little bit too big, but that's okay. It still looked pretty much similar to the cover. I like it. And then here I drew Miyaka from Fushigi Yugi. It's one of my favorite animes at the time, and I had even taken the trouble to print the subtitles for this anime because at that time everything was in Mandarin, the subtitles, and I had to find it in the internet for the English subtitles, and I actually printed them all out, and then as I was watching the anime I would look down at my compiled subtitles. So that was a chore, but at least I got to understand what the anime was about, and it was one of my favorite animes. Here I drew my daughter's Roblox avatar. She had wanted me to draw it for some time now, so I decided to draw it for this day. On this day I didn't draw anything. Instead I just used stickers. So this one over here is actually a sticker, and the reason why I just used stickers because on that day it was already late at night and I was too tired to think of what to draw. So yeah. Here I drew Hello Kitty. So this over here is the only thing I drew. Everything else is stickers. I drew Hello Kitty because on that day we were visiting this Hello Kitty cafe on wheels. It was parked outside a nearby mall, and we bought a bunch of merchandise. So I think it was one glass mug and another plastic mug, and then a set of cookies, Hello Kitty cookies. It was mainly merchandise, not much of food except for the cookies. For this day over here, I drew some paper crafts that my daughter had actually made. She had actually made everything out of paper. I had helped her with the hat because she couldn't do the round part. So I had cut a bunch of squares and then taped them all together. It took some time, but in the end, it really looked like a bucket hat. Then here I drew the character from Sweet Home because I was watching the next final season, and I'm not sure if I liked the final season. It did continue on with the story and there was some things that was answered, but I don't know, it just felt as if they could have revealed more to tie up some loose strings. it was not complete in my opinion. But all in all, Sweet Home season 1 to 3 was an interesting drama to watch, and I would recommend watching it, even though season 3 wasn't really that satisfying. So here I drew again a scene from Sweet Home, and I won't really reveal much of this scene except that when you see it, you'll understand why I drew it. So this is one of the scenes that to me should have revealed more. And then here is another day where I couldn't think of anything to draw, so I just used a bunch of stickers to decorate the page. And then this one over here, I decided to draw the characters from Alchemy of Souls. This is another Korean drama that took me a while to get into. I had watched a few episodes and it wasn't really that interesting to me, so I had dropped it off 2-3 times actually. But this time I managed to stick to it and continue watching until past the episode that I would have dropped off. So I managed to watch the entire first season and it's really interesting, surprisingly. I discovered that it's really interesting and I managed to finish season 2 as well. Here I drew Mario because on that day in the evening we went to a nearby park to watch Super Mario Brothers that was being shown over there. This day actually was really cold, it was really windy, and I had not anticipated it to be that cold, so we had only brought one blanket. We were wearing jackets, but still it was not enough. But we stuck through the entire movie, so that was difficult, but we really enjoyed the movie. On this day over here, I drew an anime character of my daughter. Actually, there's this anime character, but I drew it to represent her. I changed the swimsuit a little bit to kind of match what she's wearing. On this day, she had gone for her friend's birthday party and she was having it at the pool. So took a swimsuit and she swam with her friends and had a lot of fun. Here I drew this rabbit character from Harpy Hair because my daughter wanted me to draw it, and I quite like how the hands turned out. I thought I would have screwed it up, but luckily it did not. This part here I thought would be challenging as well, but I just focused on, making sure the lines was at the right spread and angle and not worry too much about how it would overlap or anything like that. So I think overall it turned out pretty okay. And then this day over here, I wasn't feeling in the mood to draw, so I just used another bunch of stickers. And here I draw a group of mushrooms over here. My husband had bought this growing kit of mushrooms, and we are right now at the second round of growing the mushrooms, so that's why I drew it over here. And then for the last day of July, I drew a scene of this character holding this magical jewel. It's from the Alchemy of Souls, and I really like this significance of this jewel. If you had seen the drama, you would understand. And that's the month of July. Moving on to the back pages, I haven't been doing much cleaning for the month of June and July, maybe like focusing on the bathrooms and the kitchen. For self-care, I have mainly been focusing on, just relaxing and winding down after work, and because of that, I have not been focusing much on my YouTube channel, but that's okay. And then moving on to my subscriptions, I still did the same kind of subscriptions, June and July. I did not start anything new. And then for this one over here, I had forgotten to track July, but I will soon put that down later. And then here I wrote down the double, and in fact, I'm gonna put the Alchemy of Souls over here. And then I'm just gonna highlight this part and give it 4 stars. There. Okay, next over here, I didn't add anything new. I suppose I can mark off Jujutsu Kaisen. This is gonna be only for season 1. Season 2 is only available in Crunchyroll, and I would have to restart the subscription, but I'm not ready to do that yet, so I'll have to postpone Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 for later. And then let's see, did I watch anything new over here? Nope, that's it. Okay. I didn't add anything new over here either. For the month of June, the best book was Unfortunately Yours, and for the month of July was Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood. And then my sleep tracker, the purples are not as much as before. Purple is 6 hours, the green is for 7 hours, blue is for 8 hours. So I did have a few days where I had 8 hours of sleep, and that's good. This one could have been 8 hours as well, but I was trying not to force myself to sleep too long, otherwise I would be lethargic the whole day. And that is it. So that's the end of my flip through for the month of June and July. I hope you enjoyed the video. I didn't go into too much detail of my daily entry journaling because I think that would just make the video too long. So if you want to see what I wrote, or what I talked about or wrote about during those daily entries, you can check out my Instagram. It's in the description box below. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, do give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my other videos, do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!